Welcome to the Sports Bros Podcast, featuring the almighty B-Live, the money man Scotty D, and your host, the head of creative Eddie Cool. The Sports Bros Podcast, by the fan, for the fan, talking sports just the way you like it. And without any further ado, let's give it up for the Sports Bros. We are back. We took a break, celebrate the 4th of July. Quick question. We all got 10 fingers, right? I got 10 fingers. B-Live got all 10. Scotty D, he got all 10 of his phalanges, and my background is going away. But nevertheless, welcome to another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast, where we continue to roll. Yep, we surviving, living, breathing. It's been hot in some parts of the country. Weather been nuts in some parts of the country. People have been crazy all over the country, but enough of my incoherent rambling. You know, I have two of the best co-hosts in the world because I cannot do this by myself. It's not as fun. Introducing first, the almighty B-Live.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? It's been 2 weeks. There still ain't nothing to talk about because it's the dog days of summer. There ain't really much going on, but we do have the MLB All-Star Game, the halfway point of the baseball season. And I'm very thankful to see that all three of us have all 10 of our fingers, all 10 of our toes. Because if Scotty D keeps making bad bets on the home run derby, he might end up losing a finger because he lost $12 whole dollars because he picked the wrong guy. I picked the right guy to win.
I lost $132. You picked the only person you heard of that out of the 8. The other 7, I never heard of these. I'll go with Vlad.
What do you mean?
So that's,
you
that's
talking about I've never heard of Mookie Betts. You tell that is.
Are you done? Are you done?
I'm not done. I'm not done yet. Because see, you already. If you just let me say my little piece, and then then we introduce the other guy, and then you could have said your piece. If we went with the flow of things, then I wouldn't be done. But now, since we here now, I was playing.
Eddie, cool. I feel like he just went over his allotted time. Did he not?
A lot of
introductory time.
A lot of time. And that's the first time I've ever heard of that.
Oh, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Good, Eddie.
And singing his sweet little heart out, he is the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania. When he's not slanging mashed potatoes on trays, he's wiggly watching walls at the Trinity High School in Washington, Pennsylvania. He is the one and the only, the money man, watching walls, Scotty D.
Come tumbling down the walls. Come tumbling. Yeah, I am doing a little of that. Yes, these are the dog days of summer. Oh, yeah, I'm at the high school. I'm washing windows and walls for the summer. It is hell week for sports fan because there is no real sports on. This sucks. Even next, we have to wait a whole week till next weekend before the British Open begins. So that leaves us with All-Star Game. I got to tell you, the Home Run Derby was pretty cool on Monday night. I have some things to say about that. And the All-Star Game, as we record, will be tonight. If you're listening, it happened already. Not as much interest in that, but Eddie, cool. Let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Let's throw one down the middle for us here, and let's smack this thing around here.
Right here, down the middle, not outside. Just
oh boy,
the middle. Ain't that how it go to the middle? Anyways, enough of me trying to be Mike Piazza and Pudge Rodriguez and calling the balls and all that. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. The top of the order. All right, let's get this thing started. Here it is, the top of the order. Baseball. It's that time of the year. It ain't the spring classic. I don't know where the hell that came from. Fall classic. Anyways, the summer classic, the home run derby happened last night in beautiful Seattle, Washington, where I damn near got attacked by a bird back in 2019. The hell with that bird. That's neither here nor there. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. won the home run derby, like father, like son. I'm gonna be completely transparent with you, audience fam. I ain't watching none of it. So with that being said, we're gonna have Scotty D and B Live tell us about all the happenings that was of last night's home run derby. Scotty D, you say you had a lot to say about it, man. We're gonna lead off with you. See what I did there? Lead off.
Yeah, leading off. First of all, I don't know why MLB has resorted to a bracket, because what's the man's name from Baltimore? Toshman hit 20.
Adley Rushman.
Rushman. Yeah.
Yep.
Rushman hit 27 home runs, I believe, in his opening round, and had the misfortune of not advancing. Was he going against Julio Rodriguez? Was that his, or no?
Luis Robert.
Luis Robert from the White Sox. That was his.
Yeah.
That was his draw, and he got eliminated. And meanwhile, Arozarena, who was the very first of the evening, I think he hit 25 and he advanced. I don't see how going head to head in this is relevant. I think the top four should advance. That's just me. I don't know why they got away from that. I think they tried to spice up by putting brackets and going head to head. I get it, but I think it kind of takes away from the more deserving. I also am not a fan of the extra time for hitting a ball 440 feet, because the idea is they hit the most. Why do you get extra time for hitting a little bit further? You kind of take Mookie Betts right out of it. I mean, he won the fly ball derby last night, the sacrifice fly derby. I just don't think the distance is as important as the amount of home runs you hit. That's just me. I know, B Live, you already disagree. You're dying over there to spit out. But I know you picked the winner. You picked the one guy you heard of. I had it Randy Arozarena because I know he comes up in big moments. And I thought Vlad would tire out, which he kind of did, but he just had enough muscle to kind of will himself to hit a few extra home runs, and he got the extra time. That had Arozarena, I think, had the additional 30 seconds, I believe he would have won, but it didn't go that way. But it was entertaining. I thought it was really, it was good. And Julio Rodriguez, what a shame that he didn't actually win, because his round was electric and the house was alive when he was in that batter's box, just cranking him out. He was in such a routine. Did you see his pitcher? How he was throwing? He was like throwing darts. He was just like lobbing him into the same spot. They were in such sync, such a rhythm in that first round. Yep. And he couldn't get back into that routine in the second round, B.
Oh yeah. And I will say this, it's been very rare moments. At this moment in time, I'm going to timestamp it. It's 6:38 p.m. Eastern Time on July 11th, 2023, where I'm going to say this, where me and Scotty D agree on something. I am 100% behind you when it comes to the bracket. Adley Rushman, the performance that he put on, we've never seen it before. Let's start there. He did the first 3 minutes of the first round batting left-handed, and then he took his extra time, switch hit, and hit right-handed, and knocked 7 more out, only to come 1 home run short. It was a beautiful thing to see, and he actually hit more home runs in the first round than the 2 people that ended up in the finals. Vlad only hit 26, and Arozarena only hit 24. Rushman hit 27, but was 1 short to Luis Robert Jr. that hit 28. We wanted more Adley. We wanted more. I think I could say that is unanimous. We wanted more Adley Rushman after that performance. It is what it is. Get away from the bracket. There was only one good thing that came out of the bracket, and I will say this. The hometown kid, Julio Rodriguez, going against Pete, throw it again, Alonso, and the amount of booze that Pete Alonso was getting was absolutely phenomenal. I'm a Braves fan. Don't like Pete Alonso. Never liked him. And it was just a beautiful thing to hear the hometown people boo him. But then again, that's what you get out of the bracket. You wouldn't have got that if it would just been everybody just went there like what would have been called just hit in the top 4, go to the next round. That's the only good thing. But
what was Alonso thinking though, B, by having that guy be his pitcher? Did you see his pitcher?
Oh,
the guy who pitched for him when he won it, I think they said had elbow surgery. He wasn't available, so he had a guy that was older than my dad and probably in the same kind of physical shape as you. He was just a round old fella.
I knew you were
So
going to say that.
he was going to gas. This guy was going to gas out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But you saw it.
He's throwing the ball low away. He's up there trying to strike out Pete Alonso.
Right, throwing curveballs and change ups. Lowing outside. He was like, "What is going on here?"
Yeah, that was not good.
It was but man, it was highly entertaining. I definitely want to give a shout out to. I'm getting a few more followers on our Twitter account. People that are following our highlights from the home run derby, the segment called Lifted. Man, hey, it was fun. It was highly entertaining. I know I pick and I make jokes about the fact that my Braves do a home run derby all throughout the season. We had 7 good home run hitters. Mookie Betts got to do better. He only had 11. It don't matter if he couldn't hit it far. You got to at least hit a home run. And so that at the end of the day, you got to hit the home run. If you don't hit the 440, then you don't get the extra time. But you got to at least hit it 330, 340, 350 to get it out of the yard. And one thing that we might need to get away from, as much as it's very entertaining for the little kids to be out there, some of these dudes hit rockets. Line drive rockets. One of them careened off one of his little kid's head. And I'm just like, this is dangerous. I know it's fun for the kids, but it's just
there's kids running into each other all over the place out there, and then there's infants behind the batters. Like every batter is carrying a child around. There's like too many bats and balls around for there to be just children everywhere. I mean,
I was like, and they got all the statistics and analytics. Like these dudes are hitting the ball launch angle and miles per hour off the bat, 115 miles an hour, and you're hitting it toward kids. And I'm just
Rosarena was hitting him rapid fire.
Yeah,
his pitcher wasn't taking a beat. He was like throwing them. I mean, so his hits. So if you're up there looking up, and here comes another one,
you'll catch one right in the chin.
That could be problems out there. So let's just be careful. Put helmets and masks on them or something.
I don't know. Yeah, of course, every kid wants to be out there, but yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Y'all said they had infants and top. Well, this is the time of year they have the kids sit behind the batting cage, and I'm kind of like you, Scotty. I'm like, I just hope one of these balls don't pop the baby in the head. I'd be getting nervous,
Yeah, bat flips and balls getting chucked around. I mean, let's just be careful with the infants around the bats and balls, guys. That's all.
Right. That's it.
Yep. As you stated earlier, fellas, the All-Star game is tonight. If you listen to the podcast tomorrow. It is tonight, Tuesday night, and so far this season, fellas, what are we looking forward to with the second half of the baseball season?
I am looking forward to, can my Braves stay hot and healthy? It's like I'm nervous because they are so good, and they have 2 starting pitchers that are getting back healthy. They weren't even in yet. Matt Fried hasn't played this year yet. And our rotation is going to get better. There's no reason for us not to win it all. But can we stay healthy? Can we stay hot? Can we just do what the Braves have been doing all season and win it all? I'm curious to see. And also, I'm curious to see if all of the AL East are going to be better than the AL Central. I'm very curious because as it's tracking, we're still there. So it's going to be very, very interesting indeed. Wild card races are very, very tight. 5-6 teams going for 3 spots. Half a game in between 3 different teams. It's going to be very interesting indeed. What you say, Scotty D?
A couple things I'm looking forward to seeing in the second half of the season. One is the entire AL East race, for one, is pretty open. I mean, yeah, everybody's involved. I mean, Boston's 9 games back, but they're not that bad of a team. They're only 2 out of the wild card. But when as far as that goes, I'm anxious to see what happens when Aaron Judge returns, and can Sean Casey, who's now the new Yankees hitting coach, help turn those bats around? Because there is a lot of money invested in the bats of Giancarlo Stanton and Josh Donaldson and DJ LeMahieu, and they're not getting any bang for the buck. So can Sean Casey help change an approach or some batting stance, something? Can he help shake up the lineup? I'm anxious to see how that works, because the Yankees lineup has been abysmal in the 30-plus games since Aaron Judge has been out. And another thing I'm extremely looking forward to is, well, guys, I have a new favorite player, and I'm looking forward to watching this guy from here on in.
Ooh.
And he's not a Yankee and he's not a Pirate. His name is Ellie De La Cruz of the Cincinnati Reds.
I knew it.
If you can steal 3 bases in 1 inning on 2 pitches, I'm watching.
2 pitches, essentially.
He's already hit for the cycle. He's already stole 3 bases in a single inning. He's only, I think, 21. He's lightning fast. He's got stick. He's got power. This guy he's my ideal player. You've heard me say before, I love guys that steal bases. I love the fast player. To me, that's more exciting than guys that are going to bang the ball out of the yard. I like guys that get on base and steal. This guy's electric already. I'm anxious to see him. I mean, heck, the Pirates play the Reds a couple times here. Might want to head on down to the stadium to see what this guy's like in person. But I'm looking forward to seeing that guy for sure. And as a Pirate fan, the Pirates are finally calling guys up out of AAA that we've been anticipating getting for the last couple of years. And I want to see how these young guys start to play out. But B-Live, your Braves are going to run away with that division. Yeah, you get the second half of the season off till playoff time.
Well, I'm gonna say this. Here's the thing: the second best team in the NL is the Miami Marlins.
Sure.
And Luis, so they're. I mean, yes, they're Arias. 8.5 games. They're 8.5 games back of the Braves. Braves obviously are the best team in baseball, but I'm not gonna sleep on the Marlins. I'm not gonna sleep on the Diamondbacks, and I'm definitely not gonna sleep on the Reds. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the Braves are going to make I think they're going to make the postseason. I just want them. To. This is opportune time. Like, you got to win it all, and have two in the past 3 years
away from the trade deadline too. So they could even add pieces.
Who would we add?
That's true. I mean, the whole infield's in the All-Star game.
Like, who is the we? I'm like,
their best move might be just getting guys back that are already on the roster. Yeah.
Yep. So I had a chance, fellas, to go to see the red hot Atlanta Braves. Yes.
Yeah.
I had a chance.
You were there last week.
Yeah, I had a chance to go to 2 games. On Monday, I went to go see the Braves came to town. They played the Guardians. One of Michael Harris's home runs was funny because this time of year they do fireworks at the stadium here in Progressive, and he hit the first home run. By the time he gets to second base, boom, somebody sets off the fireworks. Here come the Boo Birds, and man, let me tell you, and Cleveland just booed. I'm like, you know what? That's so Cleveland for that to happen. Like, the fireworks go off for the wrong team. It was hilarious. and the Braves wound up winning 4-2. And listen, like, if you haven't seen the Braves seeing them on TV, that's one thing. But seeing them in person, it's like, damn, like, there's not a single person batting under 250. Everybody can hit. The pitching looks good. So there was one point where Ozzie Albies slid into second base, kind of roughed up his shoulder a little bit, but, he kept on going. And then I went to another game Friday night where the Guardians hosted Kansas City Royals, and they just beat up on them, because those are the games that you need to win during this time of the year, especially in the division, because I think Kansas City is like, 33-50. They're bad.
26 and 65. They're worse. They're
trying to catch the A's.
Yes, they are. They are a game and a half ahead of the Oakland A's, which has the worst record in all of baseball.
Yep. So what I'm looking at right now is I'm looking for the Guardians to get their division again, because it's like, if you eliminate this, just go ahead and get Kansas City out. Just go ahead and just tell them goodbye, good night, see you 2024 and all that good stuff. the Guardians division to lose, because for them to play the Braves that close, it was pretty good. And Gavin Williams, the Guardians prospect, he did pretty good against a pretty stellar lineup. I mean, he gave up a few home runs and
he's gonna come in the form. He's gonna come in the form. Fayetteville, North Carolina native, yes, sir.
Yeah, he's running in the form, and he is absolutely the real deal Holyfield. All right, fellas. Moving right along to our next topic. The NBA says, you know what? Let's give them some more basketball in the middle of the season. What is it, be like the end of season tournament? What the hell's going
on? Let me go ahead. First of all, it's not more. It's just rearranging the games that they already had. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to do a little soccer-like format where they take teams, put them into pools, put them in different pools, do like a little round robin where they play each other.
Like soccer.
I knew it. I was waiting on it. On
it. And then the best team, I think, like the best six, like the best two teams out of each pot, and then the two teams after that have the best records go into like a tournament style where they play quarterfinals, semifinals, and blah blah blah. Let's just put it this way: is silly. Here's the thing that's the silliest out of it all. Like, I guess they're still yet trying to draw more, which, hey, the NBA's been making money. At the end of the day, the NBA is making money. And they're going to make more money. It's going to bring a little bit more viewership for the casual fan. And that's at the end of the day what they're trying to grab. They're not trying to grab seasoned people like us, because I don't care. But here's the thing. When they split up these teams into groups, I want you to pay attention to this.
No.
The teams were randomly drawn into groups of 5. And it was slightly based on the win-loss record from the 22-23 regular season. Here's the thing. Aren't the teams in the NBA already split into groups of 5?
I thought so.
They're called divisions. I understand that division champions don't really matter anymore when it comes to seeding in the playoffs, but you could at least just use the divisions for the group play. What is the purpose of them being in divisions? At all. Period. Okay, sorry, my bad.
No, not your bad. It's stupid.
It's just
the whole point of the NBA season is to get into a tournament at the end of the year. So now you say, let's just go ahead and copy the stupidest sport in the world and have a tournament right there in the middle of the season before Christmas, which is when everybody starts watching the NBA anyhow. It's not going to make people watch the NBA. It's football season.
Yeah. The tournament nights will take place every Tuesday and Friday. So technically we won't be watching football.
I'll be at high school football on Friday.
True. Eddie Cool will be at high school football. And I'll be, if
drinking somewhere.
Yes, that's probably it. Because Fridays is my night off.
I was talking about Tuesday.
Tuesday, I will be doing my
drinking somewhere.
Thing.
Drinking.
I need you to keep my business off of this podcast. People of Fayetteville know that. But people in Cleveland, Ohio, our listeners overseas, they don't need to know how much of a drunkard I am. It's okay. Exactly. But it's okay. I'm Mr. Straight Edge, Mr. CM Punk over here.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Hey, Scotty D, there was one time, like, Beeline's first ever trip to Cleveland, right?
Oh,
so we had all went out, and I think we were watching the then Indians playoff game, right?
Yep. Okay, yeah, I was about to say it. I think it was baseball playoffs. Insanity, by the way.
Yeah, and like I said, Beeline wasn't in the city one whole day. This girl's like, "Hey there, how you doing?" and she was jumping up and down. And be like, what's going on with you? She's like, I broke my foot. I mean, she was cute though. I mean, she was cute with a broken foot. So B Live was like, hey. So B Live and the young lady had a conversation. So everything was cool. So B Live came up here and behaved, and everything was cool, fine, and dandy. So
I think that baseball game went into like the 13th inning, and Cleveland won, and we're in like it was insanity in Cleveland that night. Man,
boy, she threw those crutches down and started jumping. I said, "Be like, she only got one leg to jump up and down." No.
Oh my goodness,
Cleveland was fun. That was fun. Cleveland and Detroit, we had a good time that weekend, man. Cannot wait for the next one. Yeah. What are we doing? What are we doing this year? What are we planning on? What we had?
I don't know.
We're gonna figure out something, and we're gonna figure out that Villanova game that we're gonna go to as well. That's got to happen. And I'm sorry, Scotty D. I'm looking and trying to look. That Panthers-Cowboys game in Charlotte is ridiculously priced. I don't like it at all. I don't know why. I don't know why there's so many Cowboy fans that they just want to drive up the price of the cost of the game. That's here, neither here nor there. I'm going off on a tangent, but I want to see my bros live.
Oh yeah,
at least one time this year. But we gonna get there.
Most definitely. All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, and all y'all listening and watching, matter of fact, while I'm here, check out the latest edition of the Lifted baseball videos, curated by the one, the only, the almighty B Live, where he takes his time to find the longest, farthest hit home runs during the week in Major League Baseball season. Coming right up.
Cool.
What's up?
Eddie, cool. Real quick. How much time do we have left? Scotty, do you want to mention something about UFC that nobody else watched? I heard it was a pretty good fight. Did you get to see it?
It's a great card. Yeah, I watched the entire show.
And he gonna need more than 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And with that being said, coming right up, we got Scotty D talking about UFC. It was a whole lot going on. Our boy Trayshawn Gore wasn't there, but he'll get back there one day. More Sports Bros podcast coming right up after this.
Let's get him on the phone.
Get him on the phone. All right, back at it again here on the Sports Bros podcast. See what happens when you take a week off? You out of practice. I can't bring you guys in right. I'm all discombobulated all over the place. But nevertheless, I'm here for you, and you, all right? As I said before, we're back with another episode of Sports Bros podcast. Coming back from break. With that being said, Scotty D said he watched the entire UFC card. Scotty D, give us your takeaways from this recent UFC extravaganza event.
Well, it was quite a card we had this past Saturday night, starting with an incredible moment in Robbie Lawler, who's been a career, just in wrestling terms, baby face for the UFC fans. Fans love Robbie Lawler because he has laid it out. Former welterweight champion, leaves his blood, sweat, and tears in the octagon to announce he was going to be having his last fight against a very difficult opponent, Nico Price, who he was not supposed to beat, and then promptly knocked him out 30 seconds into the first round, finishing up the preliminary cards. And it was an incredibly touching moment to see his warm reception in the octagon. So Robbie Lawler going out on a win, not going to the hospital like he does after a good amount of his fights. Getting into the main card, though, our boy from South Carolina, Trayshawn Gore, did not get to participate because of an injury. So he was scheduled to fight UFC's next big thing, Bo Nickel. This is the guy that we're being told is going to be the next star of the UFC. And so they threw a last-second opponent in there by the name of Val Woodburn. He dispatched him in about 30 seconds. That one was over. Then we had Jalen Turner, supposed to beat Dan Hooker, who should be on the backside of his UFC career. Only Hooker turned it into a bloodbath and a brawl, and on the way to the hospital for breaking his own wrist, defeated Jalen Turner in a split decision. Yeah, afterwards, he told the referee, please don't raise my arm if I win, because I think I broke my elbow, and it ended up being right around the wrist area. They actually showed the x-ray after the fight was over, and my man finished the fight with a broken wrist. Yeah, so you want to be a UFC fighter, do you? Then Israel Adesanya sitting cage side watches to see who his next opponent is going to be. Would it be Robert Whitaker for the third time, or Dricus du Plessis, who's supposed to be, who was not supposed to beat Robert Whitaker, but TKO'd him in round 2? And then came a moment that I was not super excited about. Adesanya gets in the cage, I believe, after having a couple daddy sodas at cage side, if you know what I mean.
He called them daddy sodas. I love it.
Had a
Go
couple
ahead,
daddy
Scott.
sodas, and it got ugly. Dropping a few N-bombs on a white guy over and over again. I guess they both have are of South African descent. I don't know what the whole story is. Anyway, the bad blood is going to be real for this one, but DDP is going to be no joke. So Adesanya is going to have to be on top of his game to turn this one away. Then we had Alex Pantoja going for the flyweight title against Brandon Moreno, and this was a 5-round classic. And again, a new champion as Moreno goes down by decision. And then this is the one we really have to appreciate. Alexander Volkanovski is now becoming pretty much the standard bearer for the UFC. He's the lightweight champion and doesn't appear to have any chinks in his armor. And I think a big part of this guy is just his mental game is so strong. He moved up to fight Islam Makhachev at lightweight, which everyone thought was a suicide mission back in February. And many feel he won that fight. He lost a decision, which I think actually was a correct decision, but it was it was a fight that I did not expect him to even come close to winning, and he did. And he turned away Jair Rodriguez in 3 rounds on this past Saturday. He decisively won the first 2 rounds, and in the 3rd round, when Rodriguez was taking control of the fight, he said, I'm putting this show to bed. I'm knocking this dude out. So now it seems like it's up to him to punch his own ticket. Is he going to move back up and fight Makhachev a second time? That seems to be where I think the money would be. I think that's what the fans want to see. But he announced after the fight, I got to have surgery on my arm. So he went out and did this destructive thing while having an arm, and he didn't specify what part of the arm needs surgery, but evidently he will be out of action for a little bit. We may end up having to go back to an interim champion there again in that division, waiting for Volkanovski. But I think all signs point to him with another match against Islam Makhachev. I believe that's what the fans, including yours truly, would like to see. But this guy is now putting himself like among elite names of the business. He's becoming like the undisputed greatest featherweight of all time. Many people thought it was Max Holloway, and he's destroyed that guy 3 times. And since then, no one's getting close to this dude. So just wanted to just throw some love and some flowers out there for Alexander Volkanovski for topping off an incredible UFC card this past Saturday night.
Nice.
Yeah, man, that sounds pretty good, man. I wish I had a chance to watch it. What was I doing Saturday? I think I was working.
Drinking?
No, I was working. I was just
working. I was working and drinking. I don't even know.
Okay.
You ain't gonna keep shaming me on the air. I don't know why.
I didn't even say you. I said Eddie was drinking that time.
Okay. Now, from time to time, when I get off of work, depending on who I'm dealing with, I might have one casual. A casual will turn into an old fashioned. Will turn into.
I'm about to have a casual after dealing with Scotty D for a couple hours.
Yeah, man.
Think
how I must feel. I got to be around me all the time.
and an old fashioned will turn into some bourbon and Coca-Cola.
Oh,
and then after that, that'll turn into some wings and some water. And then
now you're talking my language, you sinners.
Wings like Seth Rollins coming out in Buffalo with a plate of wings. That was a hot mess. So, Scotty D, what do you feel about, because it was announced today, I do believe, that you got Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou in a boxing match, October 28th. How do you feel about that?
That is easy money for Tyson Fury. Easy money. You have to figure, many people consider the hardest hitter in heavyweight history to be Deontay Wilder. And he knocked Tyson Fury's lights out, and he sat up like The Undertaker and just got back up. And in that fight, it ended up being a draw. And then 2 more times they fought, and he destroyed him both times. So if this guy can take a punch from a trained assassin like Deontay Wilder, Francis Ngannou is not going to be ready to fight Tyson Fury in October. It's going to be a runaway for Tyson Fury. Now, if they were fighting in a cage under mixed martial arts rules, different story. But so far, Ngannou, since leaving the UFC, has had a hard time picking up a check. So, of course, he's going to go make some money by fighting Tyson Fury. And in his mind, he probably thinks he's going to be competitive because all he has to do is catch him one time. But I just think Fury is
this is going to be a
way
check,
too
though.
good. It's going to be a check.
No, that's going to be
and
a
I'll
check.
watch. I mean, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
You know, I won't pay for it, but I'll watch it.
I don't say that aloud. Don't say that aloud. We'll,
I will go to a sports bar and watch it where it's being played.
We'll put some funds together and make it happen.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? Fellas, looking at my watch, or actually looking at my tablet because I've yet to get a watch. Guess what time it is?
Well, what's happening? What's going on?
Oh, Black Snow. I'm glad you asked. It's time once again for our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. With that being said, hey, yo, Button, hit it. Choices of the voices coming up next. Oh, Black Snow. Look at Booker T's in the ring. He's beating up everybody. Oh, Black Snow. Choices of the voices coming right up.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful land. Scotty D, watch your ears. So lovely, Miss Button, for introducing our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. We gave y'all 2 weeks to figure it out. We hope you did. We asked the question, y'all give us the answer, and we read it right here on episode 210 of the Sports Bros podcast. Scotty D, did you give us a double-decker like the bus in London and Oreo double-decker double stuff? What's the question?
Yeah, we did. We posted 2 questions because we wanted 2 different answers for 2 different categories as we're approaching ESPYs on Wednesday night. And we asked you to tell us who you think was going to win or who you think should win the category of best female athlete and best male athlete. First of all, we picked our some other categories amongst ourselves last week, not these as of yet. And there were some that we just didn't discuss just because there's so many. The UFC announced on Saturday night during their pay-per-view that they had already been informed that the winner of the UFC Fighter of the Year was Jon Jones. He won that award over Amanda Nunes, and he won it over Leon Edwards. And he who was the third fighter? Doesn't matter. He shouldn't have won it because Leon Edwards twice in the past year beat the greatest welterweight ever in Kamaru Usman. Knocked him out the first time and then defended him in a decision. Jon Jones has fought about 2.5 minutes in the last 3 years, and he beat a lesser fighter. So take that take these ESPY awards with a grain of salt. So please. The first question we asked was best athlete women's sports, and the nominees were Michaela Schifrin, skier, Iga Swiatek, tennis player, Sophia Smith of the Portland Thorns. I guess that's a soccer team.
Yeah.
And Asia Wilson, Las Vegas Aces WNBA player. We had a couple answers. Evidently, not so many people know all the names on this list because we didn't get a lot of response. B-Live, Eddie, what did we get here? I didn't even see. I think you posted the answers.
All right, so here we go. Brian Lavelle, he says, Iga, she gets one. All right.
Okay.
Hall of Famer Uncle Mac says, Michaela Schifrin, she gets one.
Okay.
Dak Prescott said, Trey Duke said Dak Prescott. See, I was just ahead of it again. And yeah, Trey Duke said Dak Prescott, hands down. Hey, something crazy.
Okay.
And Tom Wynn, don't know who that is. We're going to move right along. And Mary Jane Duke, she said, as soon as the drug is available, I'm sure that we will see at least 60% increase in patients. All right. And Tony Bogan said Michaela Schifrin.
So are you reading off of what I sent you, or are you reading off the Facebook page? Because I clearly didn't know who it was. So I didn't even put that in. I didn't even put them in.
I'm doing a little bit of both because I was like, wait a minute, we do have a double-decker question this week. So Yeah. So we'll just say Brian Lovell said Iga. Uncle Mac said Michaela Schifrin. Trey Dills are crazy behind. He said Dak Prescott. And Tony Bogan said Michaela Schifrin. So that's that for the women. All right, Scotty D. With that being said, what is the next category, sir?
Oh, and the other category we asked?
Let me sneak in real quick because Tremaine Fuller, he said Asia. She's so fine. Just let her win.
Yeah, he did say that.
Oh, I did see that answer. Yeah.
And Marcus James, he said Asia. Let's go, Lady Gamecocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
okay. Let's comment on these.
Send you the answers, sir.
I did.
You asked me for more.
I'm out of practice. See, when we take a break.
Oh yeah, like because I saw those two ridiculous answers, and I was like, "Why is you reading them?" I edited them out for you, but it's all right.
I had to read Trey Duke's answer, but go ahead, Scotty. I just had to.
Oh no, I had him on there. I had him on there.
You sure did? Yep. So I had to. Yeah.
I include him. Yeah. I'm putting him in the penalty box. I need him to be a little bit more creative. But,
all right, Scotty, what we got next?
Well, let's just comment on the women's one first before we move on. Let's just put a bow on the girls here. Michaela Schifrin would seem to be the favorite, but she struggled in the Olympics. If you guys remember, she did not win. Now she did win the downhill skiing championship earlier this year, which whatever it was, I can't remember. I kind of think that would have been slam dunk had she collected a couple medals in the Olympics. Having said that, she may still get that because she is a incredible skier.
Oh yeah, she might get it just off of her legacy alone.
Yep.
Right.
Not necessarily just from this year, but like from years past, she's been dominant.
And she did collect a championship, which I think was her 7th. So it's not like she was terrible. Her father passed away and she'd had some problems, I think some emotional problems and struggled in the Olympics. I kind of think that, ESPN's a big fan of the WNBA, so they might go with Asia Wilson, which would be a good pick, but I would pick Iga Swiatek, and I think they may go with her also because they do have a little bit of interest in tennis, and she won the French Open this past year. Now that she actually lost, I think in Wimbledon yesterday, the day before. Voting was already complete, so that's not going to hurt her. But and she did win the French Open, and she has a couple. Again, she has a couple other championships to her name, so she could very easily. What do you think, Bilal? Where's this award going?
I have no idea. Because if I can't pronounce your name, I don't really know who you are. So Iga Swiatek is a tennis player?
I think it's Swiatek. I think it's
Swiatek, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
Good for her. Good for her. And Michaela Schifrin, definitely, like I said, she has a legacy behind her name. This past year hasn't been as strong as, understandably so. Asia Wilson, she's a Gamecock, so just throw her out. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding. Actually, there is a viral video out of her and her teammate Sydney on the sideline of the Aces, and they're dancing, and Asia's going like, "Oh, coach coming," and they stop dancing, and then when the coach leaves, go back to dance.
Yeah.
So I had a nice little chuckle with that. So I was like, I like seeing stuff like that. And I don't know who else you put in there. Some girl from Portland.
Yeah, soccer player Sophia Smith.
Good for her. All right, cool. I'm gonna go with Asia Wilson. I don't know how exactly they pick these because I feel like there's a lot more female athletes that are out there that are doing big things. But I guess they got to spread out the love, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But they're Asia Wilson.
I think I could definitely see them going that direction. What do you think, Eddie?
Asia Wilson.
He's got the shirt on, baby. He's biased.
I thought he might go that way.
and you know what? I did not plan this. This was so unplanned. So I'm rolling with Asia Wilson, man. She's a good athlete, man.
It's understood. I have 27 Clemson Tiger shirts. I sleep in Clemson Tiger shirts every single night. So, but today Gotta go with Glavin Maddox 95.
Oh, I love that shirt. I love it.
Everybody loves this shirt, by the way. Like everywhere I go when I wear this shirt, they're like, "You are the bomb diggity." Oh yeah, yes. And I've been rolling with him that long. Yes, sir. Yeah. All right, we get into the men's side. I did not send you the men's because I did not know we actually had some answers.
That's okay.
But I see him now. But Scotty D, the men's side, what's happening?
Okay, the best athlete for men's sports: Nikola Jokic of the Nuggets, Aaron Judge of the Yankees, Patrick Mahomes of the Chiefs, or Lionel Richie of the Commodores.
We're not doing that.
Lionel Messi of Argentina, soccer player. I'm sorry, I read that wrong.
Do it to me one more time.
Put some respect on man Messi's name. I'm so sick of you.
I read that wrong. Okay,
you read that wrong on purpose. But I'm gonna throw it. I'm gonna throw the answers to you because I did not send them to you, but I have them in front of me.
I got right here.
Okay, well, either way you want to do it, this your show. It don't make a bit of difference to me.
Hey,
you don't know how to filter stuff out, but it's okay.
I'm just over trying to be funny. That's all. All right, Scotty, stop laughing. All right, so here we go. I saw my nephew. Stop laughing. I never tell you about that. The time my little nephew told JL to stop laughing. Stop laughing. It's not funny. All right, so here we go. We got Tony Bogan. He said Mike Judge. All right, having 62 home runs is absolutely nothing to sneeze at, as he broke the American
Aaron
League.
Judge. Yeah, we know what you mean. Yeah.
Who did I say?
Mike Judge. He may be just a butthead.
That's what I'm saying. And South Park. I'm like, how did you get Mike Judge out of this?
No, he didn't do South Park.
What the hell? All right, so
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron Judge. I'm sorry, having 62 home runs is absolutely nothing to sneeze.
That's
at.
Right.
There we go. Yeah, as he broke the American League home run record. Hopefully he can recover from injury. With that being said, it would be down to Mahomes, Messi, and then Jokic. Jokic had a dominant playoff performance and rightfully deserves his roses. Patrick Mahomes is simply put one of the best QBs in the league. And Lionel
Richie.
All right.
Lionel Messi.
All right, so Lionel Messi was one of the best. He is one of the best soccer players, and finally got a World Cup championship. Curious to see what he does for Inter Miami and Major League Soccer. Yeah. This ain't David Beckham at 35 years old going to play for the Galaxy. If I had to pick one, as much as I like Jokic, I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes. Apologies for the long-winded explanation. Damn, Tony, I'm about out of breath.
He gave us a good one though. I like it.
Yep. It was a good one. Shout out to Tony Bogan, man. Check out his podcast, Tapped In with Tony. And happy belated birthday, Tony. Happy belated birthday. All right. Brian Lavelle, he said Messi and Joey. Don't you call me Josh Jacobs. Wonder why Shohei Ohtani is not getting any recognition for this award. I guess we have a ton of MLB players that had 302 batting average with 32 home runs and a 3.32 ERA with 86 mound appearances. And Scott Donnelly said, good point.
Yeah, good point. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, Judge was the AL MVP last year. Did he not win that award?
I think
that was why they probably just were going with one baseball player.
Shohei Ohtani's having a wonderful year this year that's not yet completed. And so probably when it comes to the ESPYs, it's probably based off of the
previous year. Yeah.
This year. Mahomes ain't done nothing this year at all because it's except for January, February, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that Shohei Ohtani will be up for a lot of awards come next year's ESPYs. I guarantee you that much.
Yeah, for sure.
Going to be up for a lot of awards. I promise you.
$6 million contract loaded, in the words of the Almighty. Be live.
$600 million, and then somebody already spread a rumor that $525 million. I quickly debunked that before I went to post it. I was like, I ain't nobody reported nothing yet. So,
nothing.
But somebody made a graphic $525 million. I'm like, that's still not enough.
No, give them the full $6. All right, fellas, who y'all got?
I'm gonna do this just to irritate a lot of the naysayers out there. It's easy to say Patrick Mahomes. It's easy to say Aaron Judge. It's easy to say Lionel Messi. It is not easy to say Nikola Jokic. But that dude, I don't care as much as how slow he may look, whatever, he's not unathletic. Shoot, that dude balled out. And he should have had his third straight MVP, but they didn't give it to him because he had already won it twice in a row before. And then all he did was like, you know what? Y'all didn't want to give me regular season MVP. I'm going to go ahead and take that NBA Finals MVP and bring that trophy back to Denver, and then went home shortly after. So I'm picking the Joker, man. He's on a tear. He's on top of the world right now. Patrick Mahomes is up there too. Aaron Judge, get healthy. Not really, because I don't like the Yankees, but I want you to at least be healthy. Lionel Messi, welcome to MLS, and send me a ticket for when you come to Charlotte, because I'm not paying $300 for an MLS game when the rest of them are usually $45 just because you want to come over here and raise the ticket value of everything. My bad. I went off on a tangent. What y'all got to say?
Messi plays soccer, so he's not going to win. I think Aaron...
See, no, my
that's
bad.
True. That's true. They're not.
Dude,
really
they're
think...
the best. They're the best athletes in the world.
We're talking about the ESPYs. Do we think that the ESPY award is going to go to a soccer player over Patrick Mahomes or the Joker? No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
If there's people,
it's not. It's not going to happen. It's not happening.
Like out of the four players that are in this discussion, guess who's the most popular? You want to take a wild guess?
Lionel Richie.
Exactly.
Yeah, because he sang "Easy Like Sunday Morning," and everybody likes that song.
I quit.
No, so he's not winning it. Aaron Judge is probably not going to win because he didn't win a championship. I could see. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Joker. I think it's going to be Patrick Mahomes. I'm voting for Mahomes. HOC, what you got there?
I'm going to say my homeboy because he capped off a spectacular season by winning a Super Bowl. And, in the words of his father, was smoking on that Joe Burrow. Smoking on that Joe Burrow. Yeah. So Patrick Mahomes gave us a viral moment with Pat Mahomes Sr. talking about, smoking on that Joe Burrow. He might be smoking on that stuff. All right. All right. With that being said, what's on topic next week for the choices of the voices?
Okay. So we're going to think back to when you were a child. Who was your first baseball hero? Who was your first favorite baseball player? That will give us something to share and talk about next week, Eddie Cool.
All right. Childhood memories way back when in Horry County, South Carolina, watching the Braves do things. But I'm not going to tell you.
It's gonna be a little bit more throwback than this. I'll do that. I'll do that though.
Oh wow, it's going to be Dave Winfield. No, I'm joking. Coming up next, we got a round of pepper.
Can't wait to hear who Max's was.
There you go again. See, you notice I stopped doing this a long time ago.
Can't wait.
Uncle Max, we love you. And a round of peppers coming right up. Scotty D, you just evil. You just pure evil.
I just can't wait to hear what he says.
We'll be back.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
Well, y'all heard when it's time for us to go home and get what I call the hell up out of here. Oh, I got that right. So before we go around the pepper, you know how we do it. 3 topics, rapid fire style, kind of, sort of, not really, here to engage, educate, enlighten, and entertain. The 4 E's in no particular order. With that being said, I'll go first. On this day in history, back in 1901, Cy Young wins his 300th game. He will later go on to have a Hall of Fame career and have an award named after him, and is awarded to the best pitcher in each league. Cy Young, 300. Over to you, Scotty D.
Still famous. Yep. Since we last got together, guys, ESPN has made a ton of cuts of names that we know and are familiar with. Jeff Van Gundy, Keyshawn Johnson, Todd McShay, Matt Hasselbeck, Steve Young. None sadder than Susie Colbert, who's been there for 27 years, man. I did not realize this, but she was 59 years old. but she was part of history because she was on the sideline for the infamous "I want to kiss you, Joe Namath" moment.
I knew it.
She should have never been shown the door based on the way she handled that situation alone. When football season comes along, I will definitely miss some of these people, but especially Susie Colbert. I hate that ESPN did that. You know, I understand what they're doing, but then they completely made up for it whenever they cut Max Kellerman. Be Live, over to you.
And they'll make up for it once again when they put Doris Burke on the NBA Finals coverage.
God.
He's gonna throw up in his mouth.
Talking about it. They're talking about it. All right. Speaking of ridiculousness, this past weekend before the All-Star break, we had a historic matchup, to say the least, between the New York Yankees and the Chicago Cubs. Now, here's something that you may not know about the Yankees-Cubs matchup, because, of course, the Cubs are in the National League. The Yankees are in the American League. Did you know that before this past weekend, the Chicago Cubs had never won in Yankee Stadium?
Really?
Never had a win. The Yankees are 12-0, were 12-0 all time against the Cubs in New York City.
Wow.
That all ended this past Friday where the Cubs beat the Yankees 3-0 for their first ever win in Yankee Stadium, and they took 2 games out of 3 in the series. So the Cubs now have 2 wins against the Yankees in New York. Eddie Cool, the ball.
Before Sean Casey got there.
Oh, wow. Ain't that something? All right. And this day in history, back in 1979, the infamous Down with Disco incident happened. It was disco demolition. Yeah, it was disco demolition.
White Sox.
At Comiskey Park. And the fans were going wild, destroying disco records, and caused the White Sox to say, you know what, we'll just go ahead and forfeit the second game of this doubleheader, man, because we can't play no doubleheader. They throwing records on the ground, breaking them over their kneecaps, breaking 45s over their head, and so they said the hell with it. Yep, an infamous moment in baseball history that didn't involve anything on the damn field. Over to you, Scotty D.
Remember the 2017 World Series champion Houston Astros, the cheaters? Remember Rob Manfred suspended A.J. Hinch, the manager, who's now, after a season suspension, is with the Detroit Tigers, and GM Jeff Luhnow, who never made it to basketball and now is a owner of a soccer team, which is the equivalent of sports hell. Well, he offered immunity to players in exchange for testimony. He regrets not having given any suspension to any players. He also gave a year suspension to Alex Cora, who was the bench coach of the Astros and is now the manager of the Red Sox. Fast forward to spring training in 2023, and who does he see coming? Former Dodgers Kenley Jansen, Kike Hernandez, and Justin Turner, and he apologizes for his role in the World Series incident. This apology made Kenley Jansen actually cry, because Kenley Jansen was unhittable in the postseason that year and got roughed up in 2 extra inning games because the Astros hitters knew what was coming. He said it was nice of him to man up for it and they can move forward. But Rob Manfred, look what you've done. The Dodgers fans are not happy with you for this. That's all I have to say about Rob Manfred. Do better. Be Live. Take it away.
You made Kenley cry.
He made Kenley cry.
You talk about the Dodgers, I'm going to talk about the Dodgers.
Okay.
In a way, sort of, kind of. Yeah, it actually is about the Dodgers. And also, hashtag all roads lead to Dabo. Because
here we go, Dabo.
The Los Angeles Dodgers, with their 20th round pick, selected 6'5", 240-pound former Clemson quarterback and current Oregon State quarterback DJ Uiagalelei. He played.
DJ Ukulele's back in the news.
Yeah,
right. He was a right-handed pitcher in high school. He has not played collegiate ball, but something about him. He's still on the radar, and he might have a career in baseball if he doesn't make it in football. We'll see what he does at Oregon State. Wish you the best, DJ. Got to keep it moving. All roads lead to Dabo. All in. I bleed orange. Yes, sir. Let's get it. Eddie Cool. The ball.
Scotty D, you're going to like this one. It's about
All right, lay it on me.
It's about your Buccos, right? On this day in history, back in 1997, the Pittsburgh Pirates duo of Francisco Cordova and Ricardo Rincon, they no-hit those stinking nasty cheating. Well, they wouldn't do this back then. Houston Astros 3-0 in 10 innings at the old classic Three Rivers Stadium. Scotty D, is that a TRC rolling down your eye?
Three Rivers. That was my childhood stadium.
Yeah, I remember those pictures, man. They were pretty good during that time, man. So, yeah, on this day in history, the Buccos said to the Astros. Over to you, Scotty D.
All right, I'm going to end my little pepper session here with a positive one after I have to wash that Rob Manfred thing out of my hair from the last pepper point. But on a recent golf tournament, the match, this is the one where it was the football players are playing or something like that. The athletes are playing in this match.
Mm-hmm.
It was televised by TNT, and Ernie Johnson was doing the telecast when Charles Barkley hit the scene and broke the news to him that he was going to be inducted into the Broadcasters Hall of Fame. What a moment. If you haven't seen it, Google it because it was really heartwarming. Charles Barkley, genuine in his joy to deliver that type of news. He was overjoyed to deliver it, and Ernie just was kind of stunned and, as always, gracious. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the guys that are going to the Hall of Fame with him are going to be Chris Berman, Joe Buck, John Madden, and Marv Albert. What a lineup that is. And if anybody deserves to be alongside those guys, Ernie Johnson's like the unsung guy on every telecast he does, yet he is the glue and the professional that keeps every telecast together. And I think Barkley and Shaq and Kenny would be the first to tell you that he's the guy that holds that show together while they're having fun. He's the straight guy. He keeps it together and yet does so with a sense of humor and a purpose and class all the way. A good Christian man. And I couldn't be any happier for Ernie Johnson. Congratulations to Ernie. If any of us could ever be any kind of little bit of fraction of what you are, we would be successful. Be Live, over to you.
Ernie won the war, Ernie.
Ernie. Oh man, of course, that is a moving sentiment. Ernie absolutely deserves that. And then here I come to ruin the mood like I always do, because my third and final pepper point.
The punch bowl. Let's get it.
Is also indoctrinated into what I always like to call what happened. It's going to be a 2-for-1. First part really isn't what happened, but what the players want to happen, because the players of Major League Baseball wants MLB to soften the pitch clock violations during the postseason. Who said that a couple weeks ago when we were talking about rules and Major League? I think I did. Okay. And the players agree with your boy, Be Live. They said soften up just a little bit in the playoffs, and I do agree with that absolutely. But what happened this past week, you got to love minor league baseball, because minor league baseball just finds a way just to be entertaining, even when it's not even trying to be entertaining, but it's always entertaining. The Bismarck Larks of the Northwoods League, I'm thinking Bismarck, is that North Dakota, South Dakota?
North Dakota, Bismarck. That sounds like North Dakota.
Well, they are changing their name temporarily for just a special event. For one time this season to celebrate summer. This is what they're celebrating. They're celebrating summertime pontoons and the mighty Missouri River. So they're going to change their name one time only, to the Missouri River Motorboaters. Exactly.
I like
double entendre. Oh my goodness. I want a jersey. Please send one to your boy, the Almighty Be Live, circa the Sports Bros podcast, 4X, 5X. I'm a big dude. I'm going to try to lose some of the weight. Either way, the Missouri City Motorboaters, and I will be all for it. Yes, sir. I got to go, because that's what happened.
All right. And that being said, it's been another episode of the Sports Bros podcast. We're back. We don't have any breaks anytime soon, unless it's late July. I think I'll be going home. Let's either here or there. And then closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else. They're greatly appreciated now. More than ever, be a blessing, not a burden, because who likes a damn burden? It's been another episode of the Sports Bros podcast. Real quick, be live on your way out the door. Take us home.
Yes, sir.
Go to church.
And Zion Williamson quit messing with porn stars.
Zion, me and you gonna go on the same diet, player. Me and you, same diet. Let's get it.
He said he going in that Bron diet. If that's true, then yeah, just please, Zion. 26.6 points a game. Hey, let you. Hey, take care. See y'all next week. Sports Bros Podcast. Watch us on YouTube. Continue listening. We love you. Bye. Take care. Hey, it's Eddie Cool here from the Sports Bros Podcast. Thank you for listening, and as always, continue to follow us on all of our social media platforms. Just click the link in the description box and keep up with the Sports Bros Podcast. And once again, thanks for listening.